Fall is a time when lots of people get weird-looking, unfamiliar produce in their CSA shares, stuff like kohlrabi or sunchokes, or what I want to talk about today, celery root, also known as celeriac. So as you might be able to guess, the hardest thing about celeriac is trimming it, so I'm going to show you how to do that and give you a few ideas for how to use it. The first thing you want to do when you are using celeriac is to just take off this weird, hairy, gross-looking part on the top. There's not really very much that's edible there. And then turn it around and cut off a thin slice from the bottom, just so you have a nice solid base to balance the celery root on, so it doesn't sort of like wobble around when you're trying to trim it. And then, since the skin of celery root is pretty thick and it tends to be pretty knobby, it's easier if you just use a chef's knife instead of using a vegetable peeler to get the skin off. So just go down the sides, taking off thin strips, just sort of taking off as much of the brown stuff as you can. And so celery root, it has this very mild flavor. It tastes kind of like a celery flavored potato. It has the texture of a potato and the flavor of celery. It's really good pureed in soup because it has that nice sort of creamy, starchy texture. It can be really good roasted as well. You might add some spices, like you could do a North African thing with cumin and coriander and cinnamon. It's incredibly versatile, a lot like both celery and potatoes. And so once you've got all of the skin off, then you can just chop it, cut it in half, cut it into chunks, whatever it is that you think you might like to do with it. See, celery root, not as intimidating as it looks.